flames.
Clive Doyle was one of only 9 survivors. A 29-year-old Englishman, Renos Avram, climbed out over the roof. With the building falling down around her, Marjorie Thomas jumped out of a first-floor window in flames. She suffered 60% burns.
Didn't really know that I was on fire until I turned my head to the right, and I had a scarf around my neck and saw that it was smouldering. And I looked further behind me and I saw my body smoking. It was such a shock to see the building in so much flames.
Everyone else died. 52 adults, 21 children, and David Koresh. All over the world, the victims' families watched the disaster unfold live on television.
Oh my God, what an experience. You know, sensation of the fact of seeing your death and knowing that my family were going to die. I never knew that they were going to die by fire, but I saw their death.
"1,500 miles north of Waco, at his grandparents' home in New Jersey, Daniel Martin, then age 7, watched his family burn.
After the cartoons were over, it was dinner time. We were sitting at the table at 6 o'clock news on Channel 2. I saw the place burning and stuff, and that was awful. And you know what? I think, how could they bear being in that fire, burning, and nothing they could do about it, just burning, and the pain and pain and pain, never stopping until you were burned into nothing, just bones.
Three years on, the handful of Branch Davidian survivors still live near Waco. Tilly Friesen lost her husband Raymond in the fire. She also lost her friends, her home, her prophet David Koresh, and all her worldly possessions. The one thing she hasn't lost is her faith.
I don't know why they want to get rid of God's people, but they do. Just like it's always been. The world wants to get rid, the devil wants to get rid of God's people. I don't know nothing about it. I just know that when they surrounded the place to overtake it, Raymond was in the house with all the other people, and so he just went down with the fire. Some of them got out, but he was one that didn't get out. So
Mount Carmel is a memorial garden for the dead now. To Captain David Burns of the Texas Rangers, a landscape transformed in the last 3 years.
I got here about 2 hours after the fire to take the scene over from the FBI. The fire was still raging. I think the afternoon when I walked up here, I counted about 38 bodies that I could see, or what I thought were bodies in the debris. Well, I was overwhelmed, just, absolutely overwhelmed. not only at the magnitude of it, but the total destruction. And you know, it was just it was devastation.
The Bible speaks of Golgotha, the smoking place of skulls. Unexploded bullets and grenades went off beneath their feet as the place they called the Ranch Apocalypse yielded up its dead in fragments. Some people have still never been identified. The body count grew to 80, of whom 24 were British. Only one building still stood, the breeze block storage shed they called the bunker.
We estimated about 750,000 rounds of ammunition in there. Once we got in there, we actually started shoveling that brass and the expended rounds out, and we started getting down to the bodies. And then we realized that this was the women and children, and many of the, especially the infants, were still clinging to their mothers, or we assume was their mothers. And I don't think depressing is even an adequate word for that. It was just a kind of a helplessness, you know, and a hopelessness that you've been out here all this time, and you know, why couldn't we have gotten them out? But we didn't.
Well, 9 people survived the fire. 9 people and a computer disk. And on it was David Koresh's first seal that he had been writing. We were so happy to get this. This was the thing that we had been waiting for. And it's quite exciting to read. David Koresh did have a phenomenal understanding of biblical scriptures, and he had woven them together into a fascinating puzzle. It's not a matter of brainwashing. It's not a matter of control. It's a matter of being able to more effectively debate and defend your position. And David Koresh was able to convince people that he was right.
Yeah, I was shown the 7 seals clearly by David Koresh.
Renos Avram, the young Londoner who jumped off the burning roof, was still loyal to Koresh as he went into the dock.
I blame the FBI.
Renos Avram got 40 years. 11 Davidians stood trial for conspiracy to murder. Among them, another unrepentant Briton, Livingston Fagan from Nottingham.
Only that I cannot emphasize enough the importance of knowing what the 7 seals teach.
Sir, have you heard about the indictment?
Livingston Fagan also got 40 years. Now in solitary confinement, he is still obsessed with deciphering the 7 seals. The text David Koresh told him holds the key to the end of the world. He believes God will rescue him soon. The evidence which convicted them is kept in a secret vault near the Texas Rangers headquarters, under the care of Captain Burns.
These are 2 of the illegally converted weapons that we